My name is Barbara Lewis, and I wanted to share with you some tips on succinct storytelling, which people have been talking to me about lately and wanted a video. So I thought I would put together this little video for you. I learned about storytelling from my editor at the Wall Street Journal when I was a reporter, and I was taught to write in problem, solution, benefit format, which I have used constantly. If I need to write an email and I'm having a little trouble, I think of problem, solution, benefit. If I want to have a discussion with somebody about something, I can oftentimes put it into a problem, solution, benefit format. So I did change this slightly for patients, and I called it issue, suggestion, and outcome. So I'm going to give you an example, and I'm going to time this so it'll be very short. And let me just start then with the issue. Okay, so here is the issue. I was in the exam room sitting on the table, and the surgeon had his back turned to me, and he was looking at the computer and looking at an x-ray on the computer. And he said, "Oh, I see a spot here. This might be cancer. I think I'm going to have another x-ray done." And well, that was the issue. I nearly fell off the table. And of course, for the next week, while I was waiting for the second x-ray to happen, I was worried sick. So he told me after the surgery, when I was giving him some feedback about the whole process, he said, "Oh, that's nothing to ever worry about. Lots of patients have things that I want to look into a little bit deeper, and it's not really relevant or worrisome." So my suggestion is that he turned to me, he looked at me, and he told me this, and he said exactly that, don't worry about it. This happens oftentimes, but I'm just going to have another x-ray taken. And the outcome, of course, would have been that I would not have been so worried. Okay, that was about a minute in length. I got to the issue. I talked about the suggestion of how I would do this differently and the outcome so that I would have felt better. But you may have been in PFAC meetings where people prolong this storytelling. And it starts with, well, I woke up in the morning and after breakfast, I got in the car. And then when I got to the parking lot of the hospital, I drove around for a while. So this is not a suggestion, I should say this is not an exaggeration. This has been the way that I have heard stories tell and the way that I've heard them told in meetings. And they go on, and then finally get to the issue or the point. So I think it's a good idea that if we can talk and tell our stories in a very succinct format, because we get right to the point and we don't waste time and we get our point across of what we want to talk about. So I hope that tip is helpful.